Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's time for me to give Week 7 5 players to pick up in fantasy football. A lot of injuries happened this week, and you might have run into some trouble. Some things like Julio Jones hit injured reserve earlier this week. Bilal Powell's out. Randall Cobb looks like he's going to be out for some significant time. So here's some players that you might need to pick up. By Week 7 in fantasy football, the waiver wire and stuff is really scarce. But here's some guys that maybe can fill a role on the bench, or maybe have a quick start if your starter has a bye. So first I'm going to go with QB Nick Foles. This is kind of a gamble in terms of Michael Vick is going to be, he's listed as a starter and he's probably going to be healthy next week. But I don't see how the Eagles bench Nick Foles after the past 2 weeks. He's played incredibly well. He's led the Eagles to 2 wins in a row. And I think he had like 36 Yahoo fantasy points. He was above 30 in all leagues. Pick up Nick Foles, no one has him, and just see if the Eagles name him the starter. If so, I mean, he's good enough for a start in that offense, especially if you're weak at the quarterback position. I have a bye week this week. That's something to definitely look into, especially if you have like a Drew Brees, right? He's on a bye week. Terrell Pryor's on a bye week. So adding Nick Foles and seeing if he's a starter might be a really, really good play. I was kind of excited. I put in my waiver claim already for him. Next is quarterback Ryan Tannehill. Same kind of thing in terms of you got quarterbacks, injuries maybe. You have waiver wire issues. You got bye weeks. Pick up Ryan Tannehill if he's available in your league. Just the fact that he's consistent. He's usually going to give you above 15 points, so he's not going to make or break your team. He's not going to go out and throw for 30. This week also he has a matchup against Buffalo. Teams put up a lot of points against Buffalo, like the Jets did a couple weeks ago. Good things can come out of that. I know the Browns put up a lot of points in Buffalo too, and their quarterbacks had really good weeks. So pick up Ryan Tannehill, especially if a bye week you only have a roster with one quarterback. Put him in and start him. He's not going to make or break your team, and he could have a really good week against the Bills. Next, we're going to go with running back Mike Tolbert for the Carolina Panthers. It's kind of iffy with him, but if you really, really need help at the running back position, put him in just because he's a touchdown. He's their goal line guy with Jonathan Stewart out, and DeAngelo Williams is just a twig, so he's not going to be getting the rushes down near the goal line. I know DeAngelo Williams owners hate that, but that's how it is. The Panthers offense seems like it's been clicking, especially last week where they just torched Minnesota. Mike Tolbert had a nice game. I wouldn't start him next week. Just see how the Panthers offense is going, because if they're moving the ball down the field and are in the goal line, Mike Tolbert's a great pickup. He's like a Marion Barber of old days. But if they're not moving the ball like they have done a lot this season, Mike Tolbert's not really valuable. So just gotta take a look out for that guy. Pick him up if you really need help. And just kind of overview what the Panthers are doing. Just make sure you know that they're moving the ball up and down the field. And then Mike Tolbert becomes a lot more valuable. Next is wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders. It's kind of mind-boggling to me how he's only owned in 50% of Yahoo leagues. He is very consistent, but Ben Roethlisberger loves to throw the ball. The Steelers can't run the ball at all. So Sanders is really nice to have just because he's going to get a lot of passes his way. No, he's not his favorite red zone target. But, the Steelers throw the ball a lot. I would pick up Emmanuel Sanders, especially if you had like a Julio Jones who went on injured reserve. You're looking for a guy off the bench to fill the void, maybe fill in for a potential bye week or something. Pick him up. He's a nice kid, and he's going to be consistent for you. And that's, at this point in the season, that's all you look for. That's all you look for in terms of when you pick up people. You're not looking for starters because they're not going to be out there. And last but not least, tight end Heath Miller. He's only owned in 49% of Yahoo leagues. He's always been Big Ben's kind of like favorite target when he's healthy. And watching him last week, he's getting really healthy. He's had 2 decent, not say great, games. He's been over 5 points in each. I think he had like over 7 last week. So Heath Miller is a really good red zone target too for Big Ben. He had a lot of touchdowns last year. So pick up Heath Miller if you don't have him at tight end. Put him as a backup, or if your guy's a bye, put him as starter, injury, etc. Because Heath Miller, he has a proven track record, and as he continues to get more healthy from his injury, he's going to see more action, more snaps, and he's going to get the ball more in the red zone. So pick him up. Heath Miller has always been a good option in fantasy football for years, and injuries are starting to pile up. Pick him up, see what he can do. So that's my 5 players to pick up this week in Week 7. I hope you guys have a good fantasy week and try to make your playoff push. Have a good day.